Hello, my people. I hope you're doing good, because I'm doing good. Today, January 22nd, 2025, we're going to be diving in, picking up where we left off, like always. Going to be doing Exodus 21, 2021. We're going to do Exodus 21 through 23. Pretty much just where we left off was, you know, the Moses, he struck the stone and gave the people water. He went up the mountain that's full of thunder and smoke and lightning and gave the 10 Commandments to the people. And the Lord gave him rules on building an altar for him. So let's dive right into Exodus 21. Now there are the judgments which you shall set before them. If you buy a Hebrew servant, he shall serve 6 years, and in the seventh he shall go out free and pay nothing. If he comes in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he comes in married, then his wife shall go with him. And if his master has given him a wife, and she has borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her master's, and the man shall go out by himself. But if the servant plainly says, I love my master, my wife, and my children, and I will not go out free, then his master shall bring him to the judges. He shall also bring him to the door or to the doorpost of his master, shall pierce his ear with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. And if the man sells his daughter to be a female slave, she should not go out as the male slaves do. If she does not please her master, who has betrothed her to himself, then he shall let her be redeemed. He shall have no right to sell her to a foreign people, since he has dealt deceitfully with her. And if he has betrothed her to his son, he shall deal with her according to the custom of the custom of daughters. If he takes another wife, he shall not diminish her food, her clothing, and her marriage rights. And if he does not do those 3 things for her, then she shall go out free without paying any money. The law concerning violence. He who strikes a man so that he dies shall surely be put to death. However, if he did not lie in wait, but God delivered him into his hand, then I will appoint for you a place where he may flee. But if a man acts with premeditation against his neighbor to kill him by treachery, you shall take him from my altar that he may die. And he who strikes his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. He who kidnaps a man and sells him, or if he is found in his hand, shall surely be put to death. And he who curses his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. If man contended with each other, and one strikes another with a stone or his fist, and he does not die, but is confined to his bed, if he rises again and walks about outside with his staff, then he who struck him shall be acquitted, for he only paid for the loss of his time, and shall provide for him to be thoroughly healed. If a man beats his male or female servant with a rod so that he dies under his hand, he shall surely be punished. Notwithstanding, if he remains alive a day or two, he shall not be punished, for he is his property. If men fight and hurt a woman with child, so that she gives birth prematurely, yet no harm follows, he shall surely be punished according to the woman's husband imposes on him. And if he shall pay the judges, and he shall pay as the judges determine. But if any harm follows, then you shall give life for life, eye for an eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burn for burn, wound for wound, and stripe for stripe. If a man takes the eye of his male or female servant and destroys it, he shall let him go free for the sake of the eye. And if he knocks out the tooth of his male or female servant, he shall let them go for the sake of the tooth. And now onto the animal control laws. If an ox gores a man or a woman to death, then the ox shall surely be stoned, and its flesh shall not be eaten, but the owner of the ox shall be acquitted. But if the ox tended to thrust with his horn in times past, and it has been made known to his owner, and he has not kept it confined, so that it kills a man or a woman, the ox shall be stoned, and its owner shall be put to death. If there is imposed on him a sum of money, then he shall pay to redeem his life whatever is imposed on him. Whether it has gored a son or a daughter, according to this judgment, it shall be done to him. If the ox gores a male or a female servant, he shall give to their master 30 shekels of silver, and the ox shall be stoned. If a man opens a pit, or if a man digs a pit and does not cover it, and the ox or donkey falls in it, the owner of the pit shall make it good. He shall give money to the owner, but the dead animal shall be his. If one man's ox hurts another's ox so that it dies, then they shall sell the live ox and divide the money from it, and the dead ox they shall also divide. Or if it is known that the ox tended to thrust in times past, and its owner has not kept it confined, that he shall surely pay ox for ox, and the dead animal shall be his own. So that's Exodus 21. On to 22. Responsibility for property. If a man steals an ox or a sheep and slaughters it or sells it, he shall restore 5 oxen for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep. And if the thief is found breaking in and he is struck so that he dies, there shall be no guilt for his bloodshed. If the sun has risen on him, there shall be guilt for his bloodshed. He should not make full restitution. If he has nothing, then he shall be sold for his theft. If the theft is certainly found, it says if the theft is certainly found alive in his hand, I guess whatever he stole, whether it's an ox or a donkey or sheep, he shall restore double. If a man causes a field or a vineyard to be grazed and lets loose his animal, and it feeds on another man's land, he shall make restitution for the best of his own field and the best of his own vineyard. If fire breaks out and catches in thorns, so that stacking grain, or the field is consumed, he who kindled the fire shall surely make restitution. If a man delivers to his neighbor money or articles to keep, and it is stolen out of the man's house, if the thief is found, he shall pay double. If the thief is not found, then the master of the house shall be brought to the judges to see whether he has put his hands into his neighbor's goods. For any kind of trespass, whether it concerns an ox, a donkey, a sheep, or clothing, or any other kind of lost thing, with another claims to be his, because both parties shall come before the judges, and whomever the judges condemn shall pay double to his neighbor. If a man delivers to his neighbor a donkey, an ox, a sheep, or any other animal to keep, but it dies, or is hurt, or driven away, no one seeing it, then an oath of the Lord shall be between both of them, that he has not put his hand into his neighbor's goods, and the owner of it shall accept that, and he shall not make it good. But in fact, if it is stolen from him, he shall make restitution to the owner of it. If it is torn to pieces by a beast, then he shall bring it as evidence, and he shall not make good what was torn. And if a man borrows anything from his neighbor, and it becomes injured or dies, the owner of it not being with it, he shall surely make it good. If the owner was with it, he shall not make it good. If it was hired, it came for its hire. Okay. So, the last section of Exodus 22. This is morale and ceremonial principles. If a man entices a virgin who is not betrothed and lies with her, he shall surely pay the bride price to her to be his wife. If her father utterly refuses to give her to him, he shall pay money according to the bride price of virgins. You shall not permit a sorceress to live. Whoever lies with an animal shall surely be put to death. He who sacrifices to any god except to the Lord only, he shall be utterly destroyed. You shall neither mistreat a stranger nor oppress him, for you are strangers in the land of Egypt. If you shall you shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child. If you afflict them in any way, and they cry to me at all, I will surely hear their cry, and my wrath will become hot, and I will kill you with the sword. Your wives shall be widows, and your children be fatherless. If you lend money to any of my people who are poor among you, you shall not be like a moneylender to them. You shall not charge him interest. If you ever take your neighbor's garment as a pledge, you shall return it to him before the sun goes down. For that is his only covering, and if it's his garment for his skin, what will he sleep in? And it will be that when he cries to me, I will hear, for I am gracious. You shall not revile God, nor curse a ruler of your people. You shall not delay to offer the first of your ripe produce and your juices. The firstborn of your sons you shall give to me. Likewise, you shall do with your oxen and your sheep. It shall be with its mother 7 days. On the 8th day you shall give it to me, and you shall be holy men to me. You shall not eat meat torn by beasts in the field. You shall throw it to the dogs. A lot of rules right there. On to Exodus 23. Justice for all. You shall not circulate a false report. Do not put your hand on the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. You shall not follow a crowd to do evil, nor shall you testify in a dispute so as to turn aside after many to pervert justice. You shall not show partially to a poor man in his dispute. If you meet your enemy's ox or his donkey going astray, you shall surely bring it back to him again. If you see the donkey of one who hates you lying under its burden, and you would refrain from helping it, you shall surely help him with it. You shall not pervert the judgment of your poor in his dispute. Keep yourself far from a false matter. Do not kill the innocent and righteous, for I will not justify the wicked. And you shall take no bribe, for a bribe blinds the discerning and perverts the words of the righteous. Also, you shall not oppress a stranger, for you know the heart of a stranger, because you were a stranger in the lands of Egypt. So, now to the law of Sabbaths. 6 years you shall sow your land and gather its produce, but the 7th year you shall let it rest and lie fallow, that the poor of your people may eat, and what they leave the beasts of the field may eat. In like manner you shall do with the vineyard and your olive grove. 6 days you shall do your work, and on the 7th day you shall rest, that your ox and your donkey may rest, and the son of your female servant and the stranger may be refreshed. And in all that I have said to you, be circumspect, and make no mention of the name of other gods, nor let it be heard from your mouth. Onto the 3 annual feasts. 3 times you shall keep a feast to me in the year. You shall keep the feast of the unleavened bread. You shall eat unleavened bread 7 days, as I command you, at the time appointed in the month of Abib. For in it you came out of Egypt. None shall appear before me empty. And the feast of the harvest, the first fruits of your labors, which you have sown in the field, and the feast of ingathering at the end of the year, when you have gathered in the fruit of your labors from the field. 3 times in a year all your males shall appear before the Lord God. You shall not offer the blood of my sacrifice with leavened bread, nor shall the fat of my sacrifice remain until the morning. The first of the first fruits of your land you shall bring into the house of the Lord your God. You shall not boil a young goat in its mother's milk. On to the angel and the promises. This is looking like the last section of Exodus 23. Behold, I send an angel before you to keep you in the way and to bring you into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him and obey his voice. Do not provoke him, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is him. But if you indeed obey his voice and do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy to your enemies and an adversary to your adversaries. For my angel will go before you and bring you in the Amorites and the Hittites and the Perizzites, and the Canaanites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, and I will cut them off. You shall know, or you shall not bow down to their gods, nor serve them, nor do according to their works, but you shall utterly overthrow them and completely break down their sacred pillars. You shall serve the Lord your God, and he will bless you with bread and water, and I will take sickness away from the midst of you. No one shall suffer miscarriage or be barren in your land, and I will fulfill the number of your days. I will send my fear before you. I will cause confusion among all the people who come on you, and will make all your enemies turn their backs to you. I will send hornets before you. I shall drive out the Hivite, the Canaanite, and the Hittite before you. I will not drive them out before you in 1 year, lest the land become desolate, and the beasts of the field become too numerous for you. I'm going to read that one again. I think I messed it up. I will not drive them out from before you in 1 year, lest the land become desolate, and the beasts of the field become too numerous for you. Little by little will I drive them out before you, until you have increased and you inherit the land. And I will set your bounds from the Red Sea, Philistia, and from the desert to the river. For I will deliver the inhabitants of the land into your hand, and you shall drive them out before you. You shall make no covenant with them, nor with their gods, and they shall not dwell in your land, lest they make you sin against me. For if you serve their gods, it will surely be a snare to you. So I guess that's just God promising them that, they're going to go to like the land of Canaan, I guess, and they're going to drive out like all the Canaanites and Hittites and the Perizzites and the Hivites, I guess, Jebusites, and the Israelites, that they're going to rule that land. And yeah, a lot of laws. The law of the Sabbath, I guess the 7th year, you rest the land, and, every 6 days, you take a rest. No animals or people are working. I'm just trying to get a good summary here. Yeah, gives you all the rules on, wronging your neighbors and animals, and, who's responsible for what in case of someone dying and all of that. A lot of it seems like common sense, really, though. But yeah, that's going to wrap up Exodus 21 through 23. Thank you again for tuning in for another video, and we'll keep pushing forward starting tomorrow. Thank you. Have a good one. Oh, yeah. Like, comment, subscribe.